Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's head outside and take a look at our super hot weather window. And yeah, beautiful blue sky today, and that lent itself to some very unseasonably hot temperatures all over north central Washington. Beautiful shot though down at the Wenatchee Valley. It's from our cross camera, our Sky-Fi camera up on Wenatchee Heights. And I'll tell you what, heat exhaustion and heat stroke are an issue right now with all of this unseasonably hot weather. Remember, if you're feeling any of these symptoms, head indoors immediately. And the big thing is try and find shade if you're outside. Stay cool and stay hydrated out there. And if you are in heat stroke mode where you are becoming dizzy and being confused and also maybe some unconsciousness with somebody you know, call 911 immediately. This heat isn't going anywhere, and we'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. An East Wenatchee man who allegedly stalked and threatened another man over the last 8 months has been arrested. A tractor collided with a semi late yesterday morning in Moses Lake, blocking the roadway for about an hour and a half. A power pole caught on fire yesterday morning south of Ephrata, knocking out power to some residences in the area and setting nearby vegetation on fire. And a fire last night in Quincy did extensive damage to at least one unit in an apartment complex. But first, our top story tonight. A Wenatchee man was seriously injured in a motorcycle crash last night on State Route 97A, 4 miles north of Eniat. According to the Washington State Patrol, 43-year-old Alan L. Moody was traveling southbound at a high rate of speed on that highway just before 9 p.m. when he lost control while attempting to negotiate a turn. The motorcycle he was riding, a 2004 Yamaha XVZ13, went airborne and ejected Moody. Both Moody and the motorcycle came to rest on the embankment. Moody was transported to Central Washington Hospital with undisclosed injuries. An East Wenatchee man who allegedly stalked and threatened another man over the last 8 months has been arrested. Wenatchee police say 42-year-old Ivor S. Mulver sent threatening texts and online messages to the alleged victim starting in November and finally left a written note on the victim's door last month. The messages allegedly included threats of violence stemming from an affair the victim had 11 years ago with a woman who was involved with Mulver. The suspect was released Monday on his own recognizance with a restraining order that bars him from contact with that victim. Mulver faces possible charges of stalking and felony harassment. A tractor collided with a semi late yesterday morning in Moses Lake, blocking the roadway for about an hour and a half. Washington State Patrol Trooper Colin Kumaravel said nobody was injured in the collision about 11 a.m. at the intersection of Kittleson Road and Highway 17. Kumaravel said the tractor pulling a piece of machinery was traveling too fast while trying to turn off the highway and onto Kittleson Road. He hit the curb and bounced back into the back half of the semi. He said the hydraulics on the tractor dumped fluid that had to be cleared up by city crews. The tractor driver was cited for speeding. A power pole caught on fire yesterday morning south of Ephrata, knocking out power to some residents in the area and setting nearby vegetation on fire. Grant County PUD said a bird nest caught on fire, which then spread to the ground, then to the pole. While the PUD was looking for the cause of the outage, firefighters from Ephrata responded about 8:30 a.m. to the pole fire in the 9,000 block of Dodson Road. Once it was confirmed the line was not energized, Grant County Fire District 13 crews quickly put out the grass fire and cooled the pole for PUD crews. Power was then restored for most customers. Well, a fire Monday night in Quincy did extensive damage to an apartment complex and displaced more than 30 residents. Grant County Fire District 3 in Quincy responded to the fire on E Street Northeast about 6 p.m. after vegetation burning outside caught fire and spread to the apartments. Michelle Talley of Fire District 3 said the fire, smoke, and water damage was most severe in 4 second-floor units, but the entire complex eventually had to be evacuated. She said the Red Cross is assisting displaced residents. Quincy firefighters were assisted by firefighters from Ephrata and Grant County Fire District 13. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Well, when we come back, squirrels are being blamed for 3 morning power outages in Douglas and Chelan counties over the past 2 days. A long-serving member of the Leavenworth City Council has died. And for the first time in 2 years, fishing for sockeye salmon will be allowed on Lake Wenatchee. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it if you only had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties. Mary Maids, let us help.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome back. In another news, squirrels are being blamed for 3 morning power outages in Douglas and Chelan counties over the past 2 days. About 6:50 this morning, a squirrel caused an outage for 1,064 customers in East Wenatchee along Sunset Highway. Several residents reported hearing a loud boom prior to power going out. The Douglas County PUD said all power was restored by 7:30 a.m. At 9:15 this morning, a squirrel caused an outage for about 730 customers stretching from Mansfield to Bridgeport Bar. Douglas PUD crews had power fully restored by 10:20 a.m. Yesterday morning at about 10:50, a squirrel caused an outage in the Plain area that affected 460 customers. Chelan County PUD restored power for those customers just before noon. Well, a long-serving member of the Leavenworth City Council has died. Carolyn Ann Wilson passed away at her home over the weekend from what authorities say were natural causes. Wilson was first elected to the council in 2002 for a single term and then elected again in 2013. She was a former tribal police officer who served on multiple civic boards in Leavenworth and performed with the Leavenworth Summer Theater and other drama groups. In 2018, she was featured on the TV show Small Town Big Deal when it featured Leavenworth as a Christmas tourism destination. Carolyn Wilson was 72. Well, for the first time in 2 years, fishing for sockeye salmon will be allowed on Lake Wenatchee. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife announced that the fishery will begin tomorrow at daylight, with anglers being able to catch and keep 4 sockeye salmon per day. According to Chad Jackson, the department's North Central Fish Program Manager, the escapement goal of 23,000 sockeye passing over Tumwater Dam on the Wenatchee River has been met. This means thousands of fish are available to be caught in the lake. Lure restrictions apply, with up to 3 single barbless hooks per line that can be used with no bait or scent. Anglers must also use a knotless net and release any bull trout, steelhead, or Chinook salmon. Fish and Wildlife also says the Wenatchee River will open for both sockeye and Chinook salmon fishing starting on Monday, with up to 4 sockeye and 2 adult hatchery Chinook available in the 6 fish daily limit. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has hot tubs in stock now. Spas are scientifically proven to improve sleep and ease arthritis pain. Let us help you find the perfect spa today. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa is helping families reconnect, one hot tub at a time.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Election ballots are due by August 2nd, and 3 candidates are in the running for Chelan County Clerk. That office handles the records of the Superior Court as well as many other duties. Sandra Arechiga is running as an independent for that office, where she's worked for 8 years as a deputy clerk. She's now the family law court facilitator, helping people in the midst of divorce and child custody cases. Arechiga spoke with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins in the first of our interviews with the county clerk candidates.
Family law court facilitator is assisting pro se litigants through domestic cases, like we're talking divorce, parenting plans, child support, domestic violence, and we serve those folks by assisting them with reviewing of their forms, providing them with the notice of hearings that they need, and just making sure that all their documents are ready to go for the court.
So what are the different duties that the Chelan County Clerk's Office has to perform?
So the different duties, we also have a financial officer, and that financial officer is responsible for bringing in and doing like financial reviews and just making sure that people are, paying on their fines. We have also a records manager. She takes care of basically everything that comes through. She scans all the documents because we preserve documents for a lifetime. And just making sure that the calendars are all good and covered for all the judges, and keeping just track of everything that comes through the front counter.
So you've worked in family court administrator, you've worked as a jury administrator. Of those 2 jobs, which has been the more challenging?
Well, I think the most challenging one is the family law facilitator, because you're dealing with people that are going through a lot in their life, and sometimes there's frustration, and it's like we see them at their worst sometimes, but then what makes me feel good is that when they leave my office, I feel like I have accomplished something, because they usually are very grateful and thankful that I was able to assist them. And a lot of the times, the first few minutes, they're emotional, and I think that just by being responsive and listening to them, it just really helps them to calm down and just kind of move forward with their process. And I think that it's a challenging thing, but at the same time, I'm just glad that I'm able to provide that service for them.
What do you believe would make you a good county clerk for Chelan County?
I think experience is huge. Experience matters. I think that being in the clerk's office, I have grown a passion for my community and just the public service. I think customer service is one of my biggest strengths, providing that service for everybody. And I feel that being in the clerk's office the 8 years that I've been, I've learned a lot.
Let's take a look now at your north central Washington weather forecast. First, let's head out our weather window and take a look at our Upper Butte camera looking down at Lake Chelan. And what a beautiful day to be there. Anywhere near water would have been a pretty darn good place to be out there today in the midst of a good old-fashioned heat wave. 102 unofficially our high temperature today, 100 yesterday, and we are going to be 100 plus every day this week right into Saturday, and we'll talk more about that in a second. Normal high for this time of year is 90 degrees, and our record, we weren't that far off, 106, and that was set back in 1998. Look at our start this morning, 72 degrees our low, 8 degrees above our normal low of 64, record low 53, and that was set in 1983. Sun came up 5:32 this morning and will set for us tonight at 8:42. Do you want to look at tomorrow's temperatures? Yeah, it's going to be hotter than today. Thursday, hotter than tomorrow. We'll get to that in a second too, but 105s for Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, and Wenatchee tomorrow. 103 in Ellensburg, also Kashmir at 103, as well as Eniat. 101 degrees in Leavenworth, and a hot 104 in the Omak, Okanagan, Tenasket areas just to our north. Tonight, we can expect that high pressure to just sit out in the Pacific. There it is, and that's dragging all of that warmth up and then bringing it right back into Washington State. Boy, just clear skies tonight with temperatures in the mid-70s for overnight lows. Wednesday might see just a few high clouds. That's this gray on our map, but it's still going to be hot. We have some of the reddest areas, hottest temperatures of all of the western United States. Wednesday, 105, 105 to 110 on Thursday. We could be talking record highs on Thursday. For Friday, sunny and still hot. We're going to end the week with highs again between 105 and 110. And then by Saturday, notice this area of low pressure. It's kind of squashing down our area of high pressure a bit, and that'll cool us down just a hair. Temperatures between 100 and 105 on Saturday, and then some breezes move in on Sunday. That'll cool us off just slightly. We're talking highs on Sunday, if you can say that's cooler, in the upper 90s. Monday, those breezes will continue as that low moves across the plain states, and that will bring us even some more cool air. If you can call 95 cool, but boy, compared to what we're going to see this week, mid-90s on Monday, going to feel pretty good. 7-day forecast now. Tonight we can expect 76 degrees for our low, 105 on Wednesday, 107 for our high on Thursday, lows staying in the mid-70s. Hot one for Friday too at 106, and then a very slow cool down. 103 as we kick off our weekend on Saturday, 99 Sunday, and 95 your high temperature on Monday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in north central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459. And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. The Mariners got back on the win column last night with a 4-3 decision over the Texas Rangers at T-Mobile Park. The man of the hour, Ty France, once again a one-man wrecking crew, going 3 for 3 with a solo home run. Chris Flexen earned his 7th win, going 6 innings on the mound as Seattle snapped a 3-game losing streak.
he's not going to let too many go by.
Nope, that one in the dirt. Bounces away. Duran heads in from third, and the Rangers get that first run of the night. A wild pitch from Flexen, and it's 1-0.
There you go, base hit. Tie ball game. Carolyn with a base hit. Scoring on the play is Ty France. Good day for Cal, 2 for 2. Picks up an RBI here, his 35th. That's how you come out of an 0 for 9 with a 2 for 2 in your first 2 at bats. And Suarez going to try to score, and he will. Everybody else moves up, throw to second, not in time. Mariners have a 2-1 lead.
Both teams scoring a run now on a wild pitch. You can see that this is going to get away from Heim. Gino over at third base hesitated a little bit, wasn't sure, and then you can see the catcher going back trying to make the play, and Otto not able to glove it. Gino waited a second, decided I'm going to go for it with 2 outs. Turns out to be a really nice play.
2 out, nobody on. Infield straight up. Center field hit well. Going back. Goodbye. Ty France, dead central with a home run. A 3 for 3 night for Ty's 13th home run. RBI number 51, and the Mariners have a 3-1 lead over Texas. The All-Star blast one right into the batter's eye.
In a 3-game series, and Adolis Garcia goes after the first pitch, hammers it down into the corner. It is gone. Just fair and just over the wall. A solo shot for Garcia, and he makes it a 1-run game.
And the hit streak stays alive here for Garcia, and the power that we have seen now in the second half. We're just 5 games into the second half of the season, or at least post All-Star break.
1 out, bases loaded. Giving ground to Duran. They get the runner there. They don't get the runner at first. Run scores Haggerty. They get 4-2 Mariners. Ty France is retired for out number 2.
Give Santana an RBI.
You betcha. And Carlos' 31st run batted in.
Duran, the third baseman, gives a little bit of ground, and Santana hustling the whole way. He wants to beat this out, make sure that run scores. Even a double clutch by Duran ended up proving to be the difference, but nice hustle the entire way this ball is hit. He's taking off right away, trying to beat this out. You betcha.
That is a professional right there. That's why he is loved in that clubhouse.
3-1 pitch, and this ball hit well deep out to right field. Haggerty is back. It is gone. A home run. Nathaniel Lowe with his 14th bomb of the year, and he makes it a 1-run game.
Swanee trying to put this in the win column for the Mariners. Tough hombre here, and Marcus Semien. Ground ball, this should do it. Toro over to first. There's your ball game, and the Mariners win it 4-3 to end a 3-game losing streak.
Flexen was really good in this when the bullpen did their thing, and just enough offense.
Boy, I'll say Chris Flexen wins his 5th consecutive decision. He goes to 7-8. Good time for the Mariners tonight, you betcha.
Yeah, things got a little dicey in that 9th inning. Diego Castillo struggled, but Eric Swanson came through to finish the job. Manager Scott Service says that's what the bullpen does. They back each other up.
Really, I thought it was probably the sharpest he's been. But the biggest thing, more than his stuff, was the fact that I thought he commanded the strike zone better. He was ahead in more counts, keeping the pitch count in check. So he had plenty to go there, and really effective outing for him. Last time out before the break, obviously he was pitching on 3 days rest, but it was a little bit shorter, and he struggled a little bit. So getting a few extra days off certainly helped him, and nice job by him. And bullpen again, obviously Diego struggled a little bit there in the 9th, but that's what that group's about down there. They pick each other up, and we saw it in prime fashion today with Swanee coming in, getting a couple of huge outs to end the game. Offensively, Ty France, he's back in the groove. Great to see. Jumping on pitches up in the zone, and then a big home run, kind of the add-on runs there. So we played these type of games against Texas. It seems like the last few years. They're really close. They could go either way. We've been able to execute late in games. And like I said, getting back in the win column is a nice feeling for everybody here, and we've got to keep it rolling.
Seattle and Texas play the second game of the series tonight, 7:10. George Kirby on the mound. You can watch all the action on Root Sports Northwest. Other American League West play last night. Kansas City feasted on the Angels bullpen in a 7-0 win. Royals broke a scoreless tie in the sixth, chasing starter Noah Syndergaard and then scoring 6 more off the relievers. Tony Kemp had a home run and a double and drove in 3 runs for Oakland in the A's 7-5 win over Houston. Seattle edges within 12 games of the Astros in the West after yesterday's action. Well, the Mariners also gained a little ground on Tampa Bay and Toronto in the wild card chase. Baltimore beat the Rays 5-1 to get back to 500. The Blue Jays were idle. Red Sox edged the Guardians in Boston 3-1 to stay within 3 games of Seattle. Well, the Wenatchee Apple Sox battle both the Heat and the Bears tonight in West Coast League baseball action. Cowlitz comes to town to face Wenatchee in the first of 3 games at Paul Thompson Senior Stadium. Black Bears 6-9 on the second half of the season, ranked near the bottom in the WCL South Division. Apple Sox lead Bellingham by 1 game in the second half of the North Division and are currently tied with Kamloops for the second best overall record behind the Bells. First pitch, 6:35. You can hear the action with Joel Norman on Sunny FM. Well, there were a couple of non-league games played across the West Coast League last night. Jake Sukata went 3 for 4 to lead off in the leadoff spot for Ridgefield and had a home run as the Raptors beat Redmond 11-7. Ethan Lovelace and Tanner Smith each homered in a 7-run second inning for Corvallis as the Knights won over the Northwest Star Academy by a final of 15-4. Coming up tonight, Kamloops and Edmonton get things started off at 6:05. Gateway to the north. 6:35 games besides Wenatchee and Cowlitz have Bend at Richfield. Corvallis hosts Springfield. Port Angeles visits Kelowna. Nanaimo welcomes Bellingham. Yakima Valley has a non-leaguer against the Northwest Star Academy. And the Northwest Honkers are in Victoria. Portland hosts Walla Walla coming up at 7:05. Some intriguing storylines are worth following in Renton as the Seahawks training camp gets underway today. Of course, we'll be watching closely the battle between Geno Smith and Drew Lock for the starting quarterback spot. But also worth watching is the development of the offensive line. Rookie left tackle Charles Cross and right tackle Abe Lucas. Additionally, Seattle looked to the draft to replace free agent quarterback DJ Reed, who signed with the Jets in the offseason. Keep an eye on Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen to push for playing time with Sidney Jones and Artie Burns. Players report to camp today and will be on the field tomorrow, but one person missing, as they report, will be running back Chris Carson. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, Carson is retiring after suffering a neck injury last year. 27-year-old was 7th-round draft pick back in 2017 for the Seahawks and replaced Marshawn Lynch. There's been no official word from Carson or the Seahawks, as today the team roster still on their website lists Carson as a running back, along with Rashad Penny, DJ Dallas, Travis Homer, Josh Johnson, and Darwin Thompson, along with second-round pick Kenneth Walker III. That's sports news. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Tomorrow will be less than a week from primary election day, which is Tuesday, August 2nd. And for you folks in Chelan County, you do have to narrow down your choice for Chelan County Clerk. The outgoing clerk is retiring. There are 3 people running to replace her. You got to go from 3 to 2 for the general election, and Jefferson Robbins had a chance to visit with all 3 primary election candidates for Chelan County Clerk. We'll have that mashup, if you will, on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and I'm told by Grant it may be warm tomorrow. Join me tomorrow at 7 a.m. on Wednesday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, it's going to be a little hot, and that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@NCWLIFE.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us, and have a great night.
Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you by AmeriCorps, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Burgers and Brew, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, JDSA Law, Mini Blinds and more. That Pizza Place in Cashmere, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. It's Apple Sox baseball live on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.